Okay, guys. Hi, everyone. Y'all all had fun and games. Just the camera was superb. Sandeep, of course, quizzed us all, and none of us knew much. But let's be a little more serious about this whole situation today. I'm here to talk about the roles of directors. How many directors do we have here today? 1, 2, 3, 4. No? So 3. 4. That's 4 out of 8. And 50% is not good enough. Let's be clear on that. When you are appointed as directors or rather elected as directors, everyone your club has relied on you to be directors. Your president has relied on you to be directors, and we expect you to be present when you're meant to be present. Let's be clear on that, right? So let's take it forward a little bit. And what are your roles of the director as such? You, as the board of directors, control this club. Every decision you take affects the club, right? So whatever you're doing, whatever decision you're taking, whatever meeting you're attending, whatever other role you're playing, your decision affects the club directly. Now, fortunately, you're not looking after every project in the club. There's an individual director who's given anything between 3 to 5 committees. I'm not talking about committees. We'll let Bimal talk to you about the committees. That's a more difficult thing to do. But the directors, and I'm hoping that many of you do get into that position in the future as well, actually get serious when you've taken up this job. And let me be honest, when I became a director, it wasn't such a serious job as far as I was concerned. We were more like an anguta chap saying, okay, President said this, OB said that, let's all say yes to it. Nobody really thought about what was happening. There were very few that actually used their brains or talked about it and tried to improve whatever decision had to be taken. But I think all of us here today, especially the directors of today, are smarter, much smarter than what we used to be, and at the same time, more involved. And that's the way you're supposed to be. Okay? Now I've got my serious look about me. As I said, the board's decision is final, and it's good that you're meeting at least once a month. Now that is, again, a commitment that you have given. So when Satyan here gives you a schedule of the year of when your meetings are going to be, please make sure that you don't make an excuse not to attend. It's extremely important because, as I said, you are the decision makers and you are the guys that have to be present to take those decisions. It's very simple, right? You have the power to appoint members, accept resignations, and even terminate members if necessary. So once again, it's a huge responsibility, right? It's not just 8 of you, there are more, but it's very, very important that you understand what you're really getting into or what you've gotten into. You're already now directors, right? So just make sure of that, please. Further, you're in control of every single committee that we work with. We have a whole list of committees and each of you have got a designated committee. So you have to be involved with what you're doing with each committee. You have to be involved from the process of budgeting, which is extremely important. So nothing works in this place without a budget and without finance in hand. So that's another responsibility that you guys have to take. We request, or I think it's rather imperative, that you attend committee meetings, the committees under you. You need to guide them, you need to sit and work with them, and you need to make sure that they report back as to what's happening, not just for the members, but especially for the office bearers and the trust to know what they're doing in the future, right? I know I'm looking at you and talking to you guys because you all are the directors here today, right? You must follow up with your chairs and co-chairs. You must encourage them, you must guide them. And you're the conduit between the decision makers and the actual workers there. You got to make sure that there are regular follow-ups, right? And really, really important is that they attend club assemblies. You guys have to attend club assemblies. The chairs and co-chairs who are all here must attend club assemblies. It's just not good enough to say that I'm giving it to X, Y, and Z to say you speak on my behalf, or there's a presentation up there and let somebody read it out. That's not good enough. The involvement has to be there. What we really need is involvement. And I think we owe that to Satyan, who has been gracious enough to appoint us all to be there to make sure that it's all done in the right spirit and in the right manner. Well, the last thing I would like to say is that directors should speak to each other, synergize your work with each other, synergize your committees. That's extremely important. I'm sure Bimal will speak more about that. But if you can do that and you can piggyback onto each other, it's fantastic. He's talking about teamwork. Everyone talks about teamwork, and that's what RCB is all about. We are one big happy family that makes us a fantastic team. Thank you.
Thanks, Fali. That was excellent. Tough act to follow. Fali and I were talking that after hearing Mr. Kabra and then Sandeep, we should probably just run away because ours is quite boring, but an important aspect of the Rotary. And Satyan spoke about directors. I'm going to be speaking about committee chairs and co-chairs. Not Satyan, Fali. Satyan talks too much. So how many of y'all are co-chairs and chairs? So most of y'all, No. Absolutely. So as Anar says, you guys are the heart and soul of the reason why we are here, community service and the projects of the club. You all run these projects, and so all of you all have an extremely important role to play in this whole thing. So I'm going to just talk about a few things which are important for you to just take note of. There's obviously managing your project, what Mr. Kabra says, with concentration, perseverance, commitment, patience, teamwork, all of that is all there, and without that, none of it can really work. But just a few housekeeping things, which I'm just going to talk about. Appointment of people, our projects have become extremely large, complex, thanks to the vision of Sandeep particularly. We've gone to scale, and a lot of our projects will need, more than just us volunteering for the projects. We might need professional people, we might need someone on the ground who's actually full-time in managing these projects. And my only request is, do not appoint any of these projects without approval of the board. And the reason I say that is because, our laws have also become pretty complex. We are a trust, and as part of various laws, particularly the labor laws, there could be PF and all of that applicable. So we have to comply with all these laws. We are under scrutiny from the Charities Commissioner, and we don't want to get into any trouble. The trustees could be then liable for any problems that may happen, and we don't want to put that onto the trust. So please, reach out to the office bearers, reach out to the president if you have any reason to appoint someone who looks after full-time, even part-time professional services, and Kirit and Mehul will talk about that, about the accounting side of it, because professional services would have a different way it's reported in the accounts. Financial fiduciary, we get money from donors, and as we are responsible to the donors that we make the maximum out of their donation. So whatever they bring in, and it's spent for the project, we have to ensure that it's 100% spent in the way they want us to. And what I mean by that is every large project, we should get at least 3 quotes, 2 or 3 quotes, competitive quotes. And I don't mean it's awarded to the cheapest vendor. It could be someone who, but we should definitely get 3 quotes, because, we owe it to those donors as well, and owe it to the club that we have to, spend the money well. So please keep that in mind when you're actually, buying equipment or any other services. Impact assessment, all our large projects, the board has mandated us, the trust has mandated us that every large project will require an independent impact assessment. We all need a report card of what we do. Is it working well? We should know the good, bad, and the ugly of all our projects. And so, we will I think it's over 10 lakhs, right? Yeah. So the benchmark has been set for 10 lakhs and above. We will do an impact assessment. This is going to be mandated by the board. The committee chairs will not be, we'll obviously take them into confidence, but it is the decision of the board who to appoint as an independent impact assessment agency, because it has to be independent. It cannot, and this is also demanded by CSR donors. So every large corporate, and we as the current leadership team have been going to see several large donors, and one of the first things they've been asking us, have we done an impact assessment? Now, what is your role as committee chairs here? You have to assist the agency in the way they want to actually do an impact assessment, and let's not sugarcoat it. If there's something which is not working, we should be strong enough to say it's not working and we would change it. We should not be emotionally attached to any of our projects. If it's not working, we are here to change it. We are here to realign it. So let's let it come out. And and all these impact assessment are already in President Manoj's year. We have already done, I think, 8 or 9 of them. They are available for all members to see it. We are not hiding anything whatsoever, and and please then take few of those, whatever the recommendations are. Some of it may not be practical because they may not have the ground realities, but there are a lot of practical suggestions because someone from an outside perspective, and these are experts who are doing it. It's not just someone, we've got healthcare experts, educationalists, and people who are doing this professionally. So their views would be, important. They would be something which we should take note of and hopefully implement. The small little, again, all projects, we are so proud of them and we want to showcase them. And obviously you want the president to come, or the president nominee, president-elect, whoever, and, just that, please give us advance notice so that, we are available. We want to encourage you and your committee members to actually come and inaugurate or visit the projects, but just give us advance notice so that, we can, and so that we can plan better. I think Fali mentioned it's important that the directors visit the projects. It's even more important that the committee, and it may sound very basic, you're running that project. And we find that a lot of times, and I know people are busy and they have other commitments, but please visit the project regularly. We would expect you all to at least visit the project once a month, the rural projects, some of you, Vinti, that might be a little hard to visit every month, but at least twice a month, some of our rural projects, but at least the ones in the city, once in 2 months, sorry. Twice a month is even better. Yeah. You know, twice a month if that's possible. And actually, Vinti and Sina, I know, visit Gale almost regularly, sometimes even twice a month. So, you know, please visit these projects regularly, once a month.
6:30.
Tomorrow morning, 6:30. Me too. So, you know, it's important that y'all see what's happening, you know, unless y'all visit. And it's not just to, you know, kind of do a photo op. It's more to see how the projects are working. And it's not only y'all, please encourage your committee members to also join you when you're visiting these projects. We've talked about synergies. Fali talked about synergies between the two directors. It's important that we synergize with, you know, amongst us. A lot of our committees actually have a lot of synergies. The environment study EVS program can synergize with some of our school and literacy projects. The adult literacy is synergized with some of the village development projects. You know, medical is all across. Why can't we can do medical camps? We can, you know, do pediatric heart in our villages. You know, so there's so much synergy, and we find that sometimes we just don't talk to each other. So please synergize, please talk to your co-chairs, reach out to us as office bearers, because we have an overview and we are happy to kind of bring that synergy in whatever we do. Finally, you know, another thing which we are doing this year, and we're going to continue, we brought in a project director, Tanvi is our newly appointed project director. Her role is to support us in our chair people, to help us evaluate, monitor, and you know, and implement some of our projects. But that doesn't mean that Tanvi is going to be doing that work. The ethos of Rotary is community service. We have to be involved. So her role is only to support us and not, you know, not delegate it all to her. You know, one pickup, yeah. So I have to go. So that you know. So please, but again, Tanvi will report directly to the president and the trustees, not individually, because otherwise she cannot have 25 bosses to talk to. So please keep that in mind. Finally, you know, the last thing before Satyam kicks me out is evaluation of our projects. You know, you guys, please tell us if your projects, what needs to be done, you know, if things are not working. You know, the world is changing. We need to realign our projects. You know, there's with the ever-changing times. So please, you know, please tell us, give us feedback of that this is not really working. You know, so, and this needs to be changed. Let's not come to us, and you know, we will look at it favorably. We will look at what the you know, if you need outside help, outside consultants, we will get that. So please give us feedback. You know, you know, you guys are on the ground, and we will always value your feedback. Thank you.